All right, so got a Halloween project today. So I got this thing from Dollar Tree, and what it is just a thin piece of plywood that has been laser cut with this Happy Halloween design on it. Now, I've painted this already, as you can see. It was just bare plywood. So I painted it, and I mean, it looks good, but I think it could look a lot better. So what I want to do is I want to fill these little empty spaces with resin, with colored resin. So I'm probably going to do on the interior of the circle here, through all this lettering and stuff too. I'm going to do like a yellow, like a translucent yellow. I'm going to use all translucent colors. That way, if maybe I want to hang this on the window, put a little suction cup in here and hang it on the window, then the light will shine through the resin and that'll look pretty cool. And so on the exterior parts here, these little spots, I'm going to do like a red, nice red color. And I think that's going to look really cool. And yeah, I'll probably do the bat's eyes. We'll probably do those in red too. But yeah, it's going to look really cool, I think. So in order to keep the resin from coming out the back, obviously, I'm going to put like packing tape or something on there. Not sure if I really trust masking tape to hold it well. Packing tape has done me pretty good for this type of thing in the past, so I'll probably just use a bunch of packing tape. And so let's get started. All right, so it's all done. It's looking pretty good. So the initial idea for getting the resin in here was I was going to use pipettes, and probably saw where I did the eyes of the bat with pipettes, which looking at it now, it looks like I didn't put enough in there because they're kind of empty. But anyway, the reason I didn't use pipette for the whole thing is because, as you can see, there's quite a bit of nooks and crannies here. And so with resin, with the resin I have, you've got like a maximum of like 20 to 25 minutes of work time for something like that. Like if you want it to be able to go through a small tube like this, you've got 20 to 25 minutes max before it gets too thick to work with. And so I opted for a couple of these little squeeze bottles here. It's got the thin tip, but it's a lot quicker because I was able to put all the resin into each bottle and it was just ready to go, you know, like a pencil or a marker, you know. Whereas this, you've only got like 3 milliliters at a time. So I would, if I use this, I would have had to continually fill it up, and that takes time, and all that time adds up. And I very seriously doubt I would have been able to get all this resin in here before it cured up and thickened to a point where this wasn't going to work anymore. So luckily I came up with this idea, because otherwise, you know, you can say, you know, well, you could have done some, and then when it thickened up too much, you could just whip up some more resin and continue. The problem with that is I didn't want the colors to I wanted the color to be uniform throughout. So I didn't want to have to mix up and get the amount of pigment exactly the same, because that would just be kind of a nightmare, I think, trying to match the colors. So I'm really happy with the way this turned out. It was definitely a smart move to use these little squeeze bottles, because that would have been a nightmare if the resin would have got too thick for me to use the pipettes anymore. And as a matter of fact, towards the end, towards the last bits with the red here, these last few areas, it was really hard. You know, I was really having to squeeze towards the end there to get the resin out because it got too thick. But overall, I did obviously have some leakage, which I knew was going to happen. But I do intend on going over this with a clear layer of resin. The only reason I didn't do that on video is because as I'm shooting this conclusion video, it's October 30th, and I would not have had time to get the video done and edited and posted before Halloween. Because I mean, it would feel kind of silly putting this up in November, well after Halloween is over. So that's why I didn't do the final coat on video. One more thing that I really like about this is because the packing tape kind of wrinkled a bit, you get this kind of I don't know if the camera can pick that up, but you get this kind of ripply effect in the resin, and it makes it look like that kind of ripply textured glass that you see sometimes, that really raw, primitive looking glass. And I really like that. It kind of makes it look kind of like stained glass, and that's kind of what I was going for anyway. So again, turned out good. I like it. I'm probably going to put a suction cup, though I'll probably do this next year because Halloween's almost over, so what's the point in putting it up as a decoration. But I'll probably put one of those little suction cup things on here and stick it on the window next year so the sunlight can shine through and make it look all nice and colorful. One final thought is I have this thing too now that I bought the other day from the Dollar Tree. Kind of the same principle. Well, I'm going to use this one in a Christmas craft video coming up probably sometime in November. I think this has potential to look really, really good. Put some Christmas colored resin in the little gaps there. But anyway, that's that. And I hope you enjoyed the video. And happy Halloween.